Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you clicked on this video because you saw the thumbnail and you saw the title, well, you're in the right place, my friends. You are among the special few people that love McGRATH as much as I do, or maybe you really think the brand is overhyped and you're wondering what I think of this palette. So if you want to hear my thoughts, see some eye swatches, because I did eye swatches for the first time, then just keep watching. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Karen Harris. I just hit 10K on YouTube like last week and I'm still on cloud 9, and I decided to take a chance and order this palette on Sephora, and it got to me today. So I'm sitting here filming this video and I'm so excited to play with this palette. I'm definitely a Pat McGrath fan. I have all of her Mothership palettes here with me. So if that sounds like something you'd be interested in, I would highly recommend subscribing to my channel. I love to do eyeshadow palette videos, first impressions, swatches, rankings. We do a lot here on my channel, so highly recommend subscribing if you don't want to miss any of that. And without further blabbering, let's get into it. So like I said, I did end up picking this one up on Sephora, and this is what the beautiful packaging looks like. It doesn't have like a glossy finish, it's definitely like a matte finish, so it's not as elevated looking as some of the older packaging from the brand, but I don't really care that much. I just decluttered all of the boxes that I had been holding on to. So this is what the packaging looks like. I've already dirtied it because I was doing eye swatches. And then these are the gorgeous 10 shades. So let's go ahead and get into the eye swatches. And then I also swatched the entire palette on my arm so you can see it for yourself. Okay, so I'm gonna do the eye swatch portion of this video. I've never done eye swatches, so I'm really excited. I literally haven't even opened my palette yet. I haven't seen anyone talk about this palette. I think Kinky Sweat probably has a video, but I haven't watched it because I wanted to wait for my palette to get here. So this is what the packaging looks like. It's very beautiful. It's already a little broken, but that's okay. Let's just pray that the palette isn't broken. I've never received a broken palette from her before, but you never know. So here is what the palette looks like. Oh my goodness. Let me just give you guys a little close-up action. Okay, so I'm really excited to swatch the special shades, of course, but I'm going to start off, I think, with the mattes. And I'm going to link my friend Heather Austin and that girl Shay. They both do eye swatch videos, or those are the two people I know that do like eye swatch videos on YouTube. And so yeah, bear with me. Never done this before. I'm kind of scared, if I'm being honest, because my eyeballs are probably going to hate me. I think I'm going to do a blending brush for the mattes. So let's start off with the shade Extreme Plum Noir. It doesn't look plum, but it's just like a brown shade. And I'm just going to blend that. I did work today at my little boutique job, so I do have like face makeup on, but I knew this palette was coming, so I didn't do any eyeshadow. So all I have on here is foundation and then a little bit of concealer in my lower lash line. So this is the shade Extreme Plum Noir, and it's like a beautiful brown purple color. I really like that shade. It's very pretty. Okay, I'm going to use the Sigma Switch to wipe down my brushes in between swatches. Now I'm going to go into the shade Secret Eden, which is a pretty like purpley pink shade. And I'm just going to put that in the crease and then blend it on my lid. Just looks like a beautiful mid-tone pink, or if you were going to do like even a blush, like if you wanted to use this as a blush shade, I could definitely see somebody using this on their face as well. So there is the shade called Secret Eden. hopefully you guys are getting a good look. Time to switch colors. So I'm using the One Size concealer in between applications, just so you guys know as well. And now I'm going to try the last matte shade in the palette, and it's called Shockwave. It's kind of an interesting name considering it's just like a muted pink shade. So I'm sticking to the same brush that I've used on with all the mattes, and I'm applying that into the crease and then on the eyelid so you can see the color. This would make another gorgeous blush shade as well. So do I have this eyeshadow color in my collection? Probably. I do like this color story. At first I was kind of like unimpressed, but I feel like it's such a fun, kind of like an in-between palette to Divine Rose 2 and Divine Rose 1, because I thought Divine Rose 1 was such a snooze fest, and I actually wore Divine Rose 2 to my baby shower this weekend, so it was fun to pull that out and play with it. But this is the color called Shockwave, and it's such a pretty pink. I hope I'm doing a decent job of showing you guys these. I can see the shade in my viewfinder, so I'm thinking you guys can see it too. So I'm just going to use a Sigma E54 brush, and I'm going to start off with the shade Skin Show Nude. It looks to be just like a champagne shade, which I know she has a ton of in her palettes, but we're going to swatch it anyway. This would be a pretty highlighter on like a light to medium skin tone. It's very champagne, or like a pretty inner corner highlight. I'm going to touch up my makeup after I do swatches. I just didn't see the point of doing swatches and then like touching up my makeup and doing swatches, because half your makeup rubs off anyway. But I just put some on as a brow bone highlight too, but this is the shade, and it's the very first shade in the palette. It's called Skin Show Nude XTA. Is it Ecstasy? Shows how much attention I pay to the names on Pat McGrath palettes. But this is a cool color. I love that in the brow bone. I think it's going to be a fun one to play with on the brow bone. And as highlighter, of course. Okay, time to switch eyeshadows. Okay, so now I'm going to swatch this shade called Cosmic Bloom from the palette. It's like a beautiful pink sparkly shadow. So I'm going to use the same brush. I just cleaned it off, the Medium Sweeper E54. And I'm just going to swipe that on my lid. I'm not going to spray it or anything because I don't think there's any point doing that right now. We don't want to see like a foil or anything, do we? I think I will probably use these shades in an eye look. So it's a pretty pink with a like a goldy orange like shift to it. It's a very pretty color. And it's called Cosmic Bloom. See if you guys can see it. I'm just trying to cover up my blank eye. Next, I'm going to swatch Bronze Desire. Looks like a very shimmery bronzy shade. Pretty. Kind of basic, if I'm being honest. Like, definitely have this color 100 times over in our collection. But you know what? Not everybody has every Pat McGrath palette like I do. So, at least not the Motherships. Like, some people just buy one. I've been collecting them since the brand launched, so I have all of the Motherships. I can't imagine skipping one, if I'm being honest. So this is Bronze Desire. And now it's time to switch colors. Okay, so now we're entering the fun zone. I'm going to swatch this shade called Bronze Solaris 005. And then we have Blitz Sextreme, which looks to be a duochrome at least from what I can tell. I'm excited. Bronze Solaris is one of the special shades. From what I can tell, it definitely has like a toppery vibe to it. So let's see here. Is this a clear base? I don't want to dig too much into it, but yeah, it's very sparkly. It's one that I would probably use with a glitter glue and like a sponge tip applicator, if I'm being honest with you guys. Can you guys even see that? Wow, this color is interesting. Maybe I should use my finger to tap this one on. It's pretty. It's very much like a party eyeshadow. So there it is on my finger. I think a glitter glue would definitely make this one shine. Ooh, that's so pretty. Like, is it acceptable to just wear eyeshadow like this? So very, very pretty golden shade. Definitely like an eyeshadow topper vibe. And that's called Bronze Solaris 005. Okay, so on this side, I'm going to do the shade Blitz Extreme. Honestly, it looks like it's a multi-chrome, but I don't want to say for sure. I'm definitely seeing like a red to green. Like it's like a magenta actually, like a dark pinky green. Ooh, this is pretty. It's a darker color too, so it has like a bit of a black base to it. I'm gonna put some on the brow bone because I feel like that really shows the shift. But it's a very dark color, like very much a dramatic jewel toned. So pretty. I think I see a black gray base and then a pink orange green flip. So like a trio chrome or maybe even a multi-chrome. I don't want to say multi-chrome and be wrong, so I'm just gonna say I see like 3 shades. But that's typically multi-chrome, I think, if you see like 3 or more shades. So hopefully this is helpful to you guys if you're on the fence about picking this palette up. I ended up actually getting mine on Sephora, and I'm kind of glad I did that. Okay, 2 shadows left, so it's time to switch this. Okay guys, time to swatch the last 2 shades. So we have Astral Venusian Orchid. Listen, I don't claim to know how to pronounce these names. If I remember, I'll put them on the screen for you guys. I think I'm going to just use my finger because this is definitely like a special shade. Oh, yes. It's so pretty. It's so pretty. It definitely feels chunky. I don't usually apply eyeshadow with my finger, so it's funny because I'm like feeling these textures. But how freaking gorgeous. It's a green. In the pan it looks pink. It has like lilacs. Definitely would recommend a glitter glue though if you guys have like sensitive eyes and you don't want this to end up in your eye. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. Oh, it's so pretty. So this is the Astral shade, and then the, I think, star of the show, which was Astral Amethyst Moon, is like that same formula or texture. It's like a pink blue, which, like, granted, if I was to swatch my Jady Glow shadows, I feel like I have these shades. Oh my gosh, sorry, I was just on the phone with Sephora. It looks like my local Sephora has the Huda palette, so look for a Huda palette video tomorrow. Anyway, this is the shades Astral Amethyst Moon. So stunning. Like I was saying before I was on the phone, I think I have 2 Jady Glow shadows that could definitely mimic these colors. So if you're balling on a budget, I would recommend checking out Jady Glow, but I mean, who doesn't love Mama Pat? You know what I'm saying? Okay, I am going to go ahead and swatch these on my arm too, just so you guys can see them, because why not? And this is a very pricey palette, so of course I want to give you as many swatches as I can on tan skin. So there's the first 2 shades. I have Skin Show Nude Ecstasy and Secret Eden, which is that pretty pink shade. So I'm swatching the top row and then I'll swatch the bottom row. Ooh, yeah, these shadows definitely look more spectacular on the eyes, of course. So then we have Bronze Desire, Bronze Solaris 005, and then we have Astral Venusian Orchid. Oh, that shade's so pretty. Now I'm going to swatch the bottom row. So here we have Extreme Plum Noir, Cosmic Bloom, and Shockwave. And then the last two shades are Bliss Sextreme. I think that is a multi-chrome, honestly. I might have missed the memo on if it is or not, but it definitely looks like a multi-chrome. And then we have Astral Amethyst Moon. So there are the 10 shades. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed all those swatches. I hope you found it helpful. Now, I figured most of you would want to see some kind of swatch comparisons. I really don't have the time to do that right now because I kind of want to get this video up for you guys, but I thought it might be helpful to at least, so I thought I would at least hold the palettes up next to each other so you can see them. So this is Sublime and this is the new Mothership palette side by side, just so you guys can get a quick look at them. As far as the packaging goes, they're pretty identical, so keep that in mind. And then here is Midnight Sun. This is one of my favorite Mothership palettes. And honestly, you guys have been asking me for a ranking video. I think it's time for me to rank my Motherships. I just always get so anxious about ranking videos, but I think I'm getting closer to being able to do one. And then this is the Bronze Seduction and the new palette. So there's definitely very similar shades. And keep in mind, I am a Pat McGrath Mothership palette collector. I don't buy all of her palettes. I don't collect them all like some people do. But I definitely love these 10-pan palettes from Pat McGrath. So I do have all of them. This is Subliminal next to the new palette. So you will see like there are slight similarities. Like in this palette there is a blue purple shade, but then there is one in this one, but they're slightly different. I mean, all I want is for Pat McGrath to do like a green blue palette. I don't think that's gonna happen, but I'll take what I can get. So this is Subversive next to the new Mothership. And then I have Decadence, which you can't buy any longer. But in case you have it, I just want to show it to you guys. And then the two palettes that this was getting compared to the most was Divine Rose 1 and Divine Rose 2. And I will say, I feel like it's definitely very similar to both of those. I think that's a very fair comparison. So here is Divine Rose 1 next to the new palette. I think these would pair really well together, but I think this one reminds me a little bit more of the Divine Rose 2. And I actually wore Divine Rose 2 this weekend and I really enjoyed it. So now I'm even more excited that we have another new palette from her. So those are just some quick comparisons so you guys can see the two palettes next to each other. I hope that was somewhat helpful. Now I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how I created this quick eye look. Okay, so it's time to film the demo portion of this video. I've put so much concealer on my eyes, oh my god, but I want to do a quick look with this palette. So I'm going to use some of the brushes that I used for the eye swatch video. Gosh, I love this color. It is so beautiful. Oh my gosh. Sorry, I don't know if I'm just biased or what, but anyway. Now I'm going to use this shade as the brow bone highlight because I thought that looked so stunning when I was doing the eye swatch. And it was kind of subtle enough, but also like you can make it as bam as you want. And I've been talking about how I got my brows threaded this last week. So I feel like I just have a whole new spot for eyeshadow now in the brow bone. So I'm really taking a full advantage of that. Okay, so now I'm going to deepen up my outer corner, so I have to use this shade because I don't think anything else is like deep enough. And I'm just going to throw that in the outer corner here. I wish I had had this palette for my baby shower. Okay, now is the tricky part, like what shade to use where. I'm so tempted to try the multi-chrome all over the lid, but I think I'm going to do the shade, this one called Cosmic Bloom, and then I think I'm going to put this shade the Astral Orchid shade on as a topper. So I'm just gonna go back into that Sigma brush, and this time I'm gonna spray it because I don't want to have fallout if possible, and I want it to foil, because why not? Ooh, it's so pretty. Just gonna take this brush and blend the two shades together just to make it seamless, and then I'm going to use my finger and just tap on the special shade. Look at it with the special shade and without the special shade. Like, isn't that so pretty? Like, it just adds like a little something to the look. So it's pretty much done. And then for the lower lash line, I'm going to use the same two shades I used for the crease. So I'm going to go in with the darker noir shade on the outer corner of the lash line. And then I'm going to take this beautiful pink shade and throw that on the first half of the lower lash line. I think this really like brightens up the eye look too. Then I'm going to go into the Skin Tone shimmer shade, throw that in the inner corner, and then just to be extra, just a little bit of the special shade on the inner corner as well. And like I said, you can definitely make that more opaque by using a glitter glue, but I just wanted to use it as a topper. Okay, so the look is almost done, but I want to try this shade as a blush shade, so I'm grabbing this Sigma brush and I'm just gonna see what this does on my skin tone. I mean, I have like 4 Pat McGrath blushes, but ooh, she's pretty. She is so pretty. And then I'm going to use this shade as the highlight. Okie dokie. Almost done. I'm just going to spray my face, put some mascara on, and I will be right back to show you guys and talk about the final look and my first impressions on this palette. Okay, I hope you enjoyed seeing how I created this eyeshadow look. It was quick and easy, no fuss. I just wanted to put something together just to try out all the shadows together. I will say first impressions, honestly, I'm very happy with this palette. I didn't think I was gonna be because I was very disappointed in the reveal. I thought, like many of you, that this was gonna be a colorful palette. A lot of people said because there was a rainbow effect in the cover that they were expecting some fun rainbow shades, and I was like, yeah, but knowing Pat McGrath's aesthetic, I felt like this was what we were gonna get, and so I wasn't too surprised when I saw the shades, but I was also kind of a little bit disappointed because I was really hoping for like some new blue shades and things like that. But she does have blues and greens in her other palettes. Like if you look at her quads, she does have some colorful quads as well, so you can't expect too much from Pat McGrath. That is the best way to not be disappointed. I will say though, as far as the quality of the eyeshadows goes, it definitely felt like the same quality that I know and love. Everything worked really well. Everything performed like I expected. Like I said, with the special shades, you can tap them on with your finger. You could also foil them on, but I like to put them on with a glitter glue. I didn't do that today, but if you use them with a glitter glue, it'll form a really nice opaque duochrome type quality on your eyes. So yeah, I'm very happy with this palette. I'm glad I bought it, and honestly, I could definitely see myself purchasing even more Mothership palettes from her in the future. So that is everything for this video. I will go ahead and link everything on my face in my description box in case you want to shop using my links. I will make a small commission, and that goes right back into my channel. So thank you so much for doing that, because that's how I can afford to get these palettes quicker and pay for fast shipping and stuff like that. It's because you guys support my channel, watch my ads and things like that. There is also a new feature on YouTube called Applause. So it's very similar to super stickers, but this is a new feature and it is available on my channel. I think there's a little button down there somewhere that says thank you. So if you want to leave a applause, that would be cool. I've never gotten one, so I figured I'd talk about it in this video. If you want to contribute something extra to the channel, totally feel free to do so. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I will see you in my next video tomorrow. Bye guys!